guys ready to check it out?
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
This 1960 Jeep Willys is one of the biggest builds we've ever done here at Extensive.
Cool, I've been waiting. It's bigger, it's wider. Nothing factory's gonna fit in that truck.
Everybody comes here because they want something different. They want something of their own.
Go big or go home.
Our four-link, our axle, our bag mount, and our shock mount gives this thing that bulldog stance. We're gonna cut this firewall out, and there you go. We got air conditioning.
All the blood, sweat, and tears that's went in this Willys. I can't wait to see it finished.
Oh, look at that. Outstanding.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
Morning. How's it going?
Man, it's going real good, Carlos. I got to tell you, man, you've been doing a real good job, man, the last couple of weeks. Man, I've been blessed to keep getting busier and busier. Our builds just get bigger and bigger. And because of that, we're just bursting at the seams, and we need more help.
Well, it's been really nice working here, man. Everybody's great. The builds are awesome. Clients have been amazing. It's just been a good time, man, and I enjoy it.
You know, it's definitely hard to find the right people with the right skill set. Well, let's make it official, man.
All right.
Come on full time.
I'm ready.
Let's do it, man.
Yes, sir.
Luckily, Carlos came from California to help coordinate our build. And I want to show you something, man. You mind if I drive real quick?
Yeah, where we're going?
You'll see. Insurance paid up, right?
Yes?
You know, he's only been here for a little while, but he's fitting right in. Oh, I forgot something. Let me go back up here real quick.
Yeah!
Some days you think just going to be a normal day. Well, that's total opposite around here. I mean, we're always striving to go bigger, better, and to be the best.
This is not the kind of donuts I thought we were going to go get, but man, this is amazing.
Hey, welcome aboard.
That seems kind of like the theme around here, always doing more.
Yeah, you always got to have that little more, a little more. Speaking of,
Man, the text message said come up front. I didn't know this was an intervention. Have I been working too hard? Too much work?
no.
I need to cut back on the amount of work I'm doing?
We watch the cameras and we know better.
Worth a try.
That's why we need to talk to you.
What we want to talk about is that Willys.
Okay.
I'm really getting excited about it.
Yeah.
But we're still a long ways away. The 1960 Jeep Willys rolled in a while back, and it was in really good shape. But the owner, he wants a one-of-one. You know, something totally different, unlike anything else, and he wants that just aggressive bulldog look. So we went big, split that cab up into 4 pieces, you know, making it 8 inches wider and about 6 inches longer. Bob Grant, one of the top guys in the game, made that body just look like it came that way from the factory.
Yeah, this is my first big build with you guys, and seeing that thing for the first time was just impressive, and I can't wait to see it finished.
But we're getting close, man. We're getting real close. Once that cab was larger, we had to go with that larger frame. So we built the frame with the same size tubing we use on a 1-ton truck. So it's way strong enough to handle that 6.2 Hellcat engine that's going in it. Once that was done, we hand-made a bed that matches the size and design of the body. It looks like it came on that Willys. You know, we still need to do the firewall, suspension, front and rear.
So we're bagging it too, right?
Yeah, big 4-link with big airbags. You know, speaking of doing something right, John, it's time for the interior.
Cool. I've been waiting. I've been itching, watching everybody work on it and just kind of getting ideas and thinking about being able to do something to that truck. That thing is so cool.
Yeah, man. We don't have anything. We threw everything away.
It's not like it was going to work anyway.
Right, exactly.
It's bigger, it's wider. Nothing factory's going to fit in that truck.
It's on you to fill all that room with a bunch of coolness.
So, custom door panels, something flows, nice lines from the car.
Yeah.
We'll do custom seats, custom shape the foam, covers, whole 9 yards. With custom audio, we'll do it in the center console. See, the idea is to keep all the leg room that we work so hard to get in there. So tied into the custom kicks, just for the kick of it.
Okay, well, I'll just get you the material you need for the interior.
All right.
You just let me know what colors and stuff like that you need.
Your fingers are warmed up.
They're warm.
It's way more just material. I mean, you got plenty of stuff to get started.
All right, well, this has been fun, but I got work to do.
Go do it. We mocked up the engine and trans. Now we can get going on the suspension. Because the Hellcat's pushing over 700 horsepower, we're going with the extra heavy-duty suspension.
Now we got the front axle in place, all the front suspension done, even the engine's in place. Now we want to make the upper back supports look as aggressive as the rest of the build. All right, so Jesse got these plates burned out for me. Now I could go get them shaped to fit the curvature of the tubing. God dog. Now we got this bent perfectly. Cleanup time. All I'm doing now is taking all this mill scale and black paint off of it, giving me some bare metal. Nice shiny metal is better to weld on. Now I got the plate where I want it. I could go ahead and get that welded in. Yeah, just like that. We got our lower bag mount here, which the bottom of the bag is going to sit on, and our upper bag mount, the top of the bag is going to sit on. Now, next step we're going to do is make a gusset that connects from here down to the side of the frame rail, give it a lot more support, and also make it look cool. So we're going to do it out of pipe as well. If we do it like that, we can't get that bolt out. But if we do it like that, we can. As you can see here, this definitely is going to add a lot of support to the end of this bracket. Pretty bueno. Now we got a complete bag mount. 4 links are in, axles on. Got our bag mounts on. Last final piece to the front suspension, doing the shocks. All we gotta do is make us some shock mounts that attach from the frame to the top of the shocks. So after doing shocks about 1,000,000 times, we're gonna cut us a template out, something like that. We'll see how close we get to having that correct. Pretty confident it'll be pretty close. Perfect. Now we're gonna take this and get that cut out. Now we got all 4 pieces cut out. We can get these sanded, put some holes in it. Now I got the first hole. I can clamp the second one together, use that hole as a pilot, punch through the second one. Now with everything in place, our 4 links, our axle, our bag mount, and our shock mount gives this thing that wide bulldog stance to handle, the width of the body now, the power of the motor, size of the wheels and tires. With everything coming together, this setup is perfect for it.
So today's the day. We're gonna get started on the door panels for the Willys Jeep. The look they're going after, with this one, that's kind of a utilitarian style. They still want it nice and clean and classy, but at the same time, it's still got that big, beefy, nasty stance to it. So with that, we don't want too many curved lines or anything, so it's gonna be kind of straightforward. We'll round out the corners and give it our own touch. Kind of going to be my roadmap for the computer. We'll be able to expand and elaborate on our design, change them around, do what we need to do, and we'll have a door panel. Every one of our builds have to be completely different, so it's really difficult to always keep one-upping yourself, but it's also nice to always one-up yourself. It keeps you motivated, keeps you moving. Next step, we'll glue them onto a back piece. Stick this in place and get it on the router. It's that magic butter. This is a fiberglass reinforced body filler that we use when we're making gaps bigger than 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. Anything bigger than that, Bondo really doesn't have the strength that you need, so we use this. Helps hold our shape. A little more difficult to sand, but in the end, it's really worth it because it just keeps everything nice and straight. You don't have to worry about it breaking or cracking or anything. Ooh, like a glove. So now we've got a nice trim ring built around it. Everything worked out great. Next thing we have to do is build the armrest on top of it. This is one of the things that just don't like doing with a machine. To me, it's a lot more fun. Part of the creative process of building things manually and getting your shapes and things in it that way. You can usually look at something and tell if it's been mostly done by a machine or if there's handwork, how much handwork's gone into it. It just has more of an organic feel. And to me, there's no replacing that. I'm a schooler, just get in and get your hands in it and figure it out. A lot of people like to do, we'll do a test piece or something. No, I like to just go straight in, dive right in, full bore. If you're not going to put 100% into your practice piece, you'll never know what the full potential is of the part you're trying to make. Go big or go home. All right, door panel's all body worked out, ready to go. Next step, get some leather on this, get the inserts wrapped, and we'll be ready to put it on the truck.
People come through the shop all the time. Oh man, you inspire me to do this, to weld more in my garage, or to be more hands-on. And then customer comes in, says, well, I've seen how you did this. Well, I want to do this. And the projects they spiral out of control from there. Like the Willys, for example. Bob coming in and just making it look so easy. Cutting a cab up like that and putting it back together, that just ain't something anybody can do.
So we had to cut through all this structure and everything. And when we rebuild it, we're gonna have to put it back, all that structure back in.
I mean, you really have to have your skills fine-tuned and honed to be able to come in, make it look as easy as he does, make it go back together as easy as it looks. That's really saying something. To make the body lines match up the way they do, the proportions look the way they look, I mean, that's a skill set in itself also. Just the cab on the Willys is something we can all be proud on. And having Bob part of that is key.
I know this looks crazy and bad right now, but once we get it all cut out and trimmed up, it's gonna look perfect.
This is extensive metal works. We do metal work on pretty much every project that comes in and out the door. There is some sort of metal shaping, welding, grinding. All that technique is built into pretty much everything that goes in and out. But this Jeep Willys, I mean, every inch of it is metal work. It's something that's evolved into a really, really, really cool project that everyone in this shop is proud of. We're making good progress on the front suspension on the Jeep Willys. The 4-link, new axles, bag mounts, shock mounts, it's all done. Now we're making the heavy-duty hangers for that rear suspension.
This is the easy way I found to line it up and make it all straight. And I make all the cuts right here without having to do it on the frame. Kind of something cool too, the Willys has a little roll in the fenders, so this kind of duplicates the fender a little bit the way it rolls back. Once it gets welded out, it'll be super strong, and it's all gonna flow together.
Now Tim got these nice hangers tucked in place. I'm gonna go ahead and get these welded out. After that, we're gonna start building a heavy-duty 4-link to accommodate the heavy-duty rear end to handle all the power that Hellcat's gonna put out. It would be pointless to put your basic 4-link on this, so we're definitely gonna put an upgraded heavy-duty 4-link on there to make sure it withstands all the power and torque that this engine is gonna put to that rear wheel. Now we got the hangers all welded in, some good strong welds. Now it's time to get that 3/4 ton axle in and get that 4-link built. First thing we're gonna do is get this axle centered from side to side and also from front to back on both sides. We want this thing straight across and even. 12 7/8. From the edge, I'm gonna mark me a couple reference lines so I know exactly where our axle tabs are gonna mount. So when we set our axle tabs here with the 4-link bar, we know that it's gonna be perfectly straight.
You always want to make sure the bar is going to be just as strong as everything else. So if we're using a bigger, heavier duty piece of DOM, so when he does step on it, you should have no problem at all with the 4-links. This is the gravy maker.
All right, we got the top 2 bars in. Gonna tack them in place so it don't move, and we'll get our bottom ones made.
One more tap. All right.
That looks right. All right, we got the hangers in place, all welded out. Heavy duty 4-link bars in. Now this thing's gonna be able to handle whatever that engine throws at it.
What you doing, man?
Oh, hey, what's going on? So I just got off the phone with the owner of the Jeep Willys.
Right.
And trying to go over some colors. He wants to kind of keep true to the era of the Jeep Willys. So I printed this out, and it's got all the different colors that they have.
So this is what we're picking from, huh?
Yeah.
That's way better picking through a whole color book, right?
Yeah.
You know, a couple of these, you can just mark these right off the list. Peacock blue, Palm Beach ivory, no. Tropical rose.
Yeah, that Jeep doesn't really scream tropical.
Yeah. One of the things, I've been thinking about this, you know, of course, the whole time you're building something, you're thinking, hey, what color is going to look, what it's going to look like in the end, right? And I've been thinking dark green since, you know, for a while now. That pretty much makes it easy on this. That deep, deep green is going to look really, really good on there. I think, you know, you're really going to see all the body lines. I'll get with Juan back there. We're going to mix it up, you know, a little bit. We don't want to have, you know, boring green, but...
Yeah, you got to keep it a little custom, but keeping it OEM style. And then it'd be a one-of-a-kind color just for his Jeep.
You know, as far as the interior color also, man, it has to be a tan. I think that deep green with the tan interior, I mean, that's a win-win right there. This is going to stand out like no other. And I'm going to go get with Juan, get something mixed up, because we're ready.
Yes, sir.
We're going to make it happen.
Go.
Making that Jeep longer and wider than it was originally, it's not only a metalworking challenge, it means none of the original interior pieces are gonna work. John needs to build every part and piece from scratch. And I mean everything.
Got the base of the door panel all wrapped. Everything worked out great. So next step is finish making the mat pocket. We're gonna use this spring steel. We're gonna put this like an insert inside of a leather sleeve, and it'll just create our belt that goes across the opening for our mat pocket. Everything I've done has been self-taught. Screwed up a lot of stuff, had to fix a lot of stuff. I guess that was one of the driving factors when I started doing it, is not wanting to pay for broken stuff. So you got either good at fixing it or not breaking it, one of the two. And then over time, you just get better at not breaking it, but still screw up stuff. That's good looking door panel. I'll put that on a Willys Jeep.
You know, it's no secret, I'm a big fan of air suspension. On-road, off-road, doesn't matter. It's a better driving experience. That's what the owner of the Willys wants, and today, he's gonna get it. We got a center of our bags laid out. So what we're gonna do is make a perimeter around it with pipe and then plate it all in. That's gonna be our upper bag mount.
Okay, so right now I got our pipe in here. Fix to go ahead and cut out our section of the pipe. Then I'm gonna take it over to the pipe bender. Then that's gonna be our upper bag mounts. Jesse just burned us out some plates right here. This is where our bag is actually gonna bolt to. I gotta trim it just a little bit more. Once I do that, I'll go ahead and punch the holes in for the bolts and air fitting. Once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and weld this thing out all the way. All right. Got both the upper bag mounts done. Everything's welded in, so next is go ahead and put them on the truck.
You know, I've built more air suspensions like the one on the Willys than I can even remember. When mocking up the shocks, it's critical to see how they fit with everything fully compressed. That's all good.
Okay, so we got our mock-up shock here, compressed. Go ahead and set our tabs.
Got it.
Once we do that, we'll know where we're gonna mag drill through the frames. We're gonna go right through the frame. That's gonna tie in the upper part of our shock. All right, we got our hole.
So we got our DOM. The shock is gonna hang off the side of the frame and come down to the axle. So we wanted something really substantial to hold all the jarring of the shock. So we put DOM through the frame so we can through bolt it and, you know, tighten it up and be nice and strong.
So it's a sleeve, basically, to go over our DOM. Just cosmetic, basically. You know, it's gonna look better against the shock. Okay, so now we got our upper shock mount done, so now we're just gonna through bolt it. Line everything up. I'll tack it right on the rear end right here. Okay, shocks are in, everything looks parallel. I like it.
All right, so we're getting started on the console for the Willys Jeep. We're gonna do a stack fab style box. So basically, we're just gonna make a bunch of rings. We're gonna put a subwoofer in it. Woofer's gonna be on the back side, firing at the back wall of the truck. And we have a good solid foundation for our curve. We don't have to worry about any flex or anything like that. So really good way to go about it. Give a little squeeze. Just got a clamp on here. We're gonna let this glue dry for a minute. Once the glue's dry, we'll put the baffle on it, cut our hole in it, and start shaping these sides in. Step one, rough cut. There's just something to be said for knowing that you can do whatever you want with your hands. You know, that's one thing I've always said is I'll never go hungry as long as these work because I'll find something to do. I'll find a way to make something. One of the challenges, you know, is you've got the customer that has certain expectations and they have certain wants and needs, and then you on your artistic side, you're trying to up your game and kind of set it up and push yourself a little further every time. So getting that fine balance between the two of giving the customer what they're after and still putting your little spin and your touch on it, but there's still some constraints at times, and this is nature of the beast. I like it. All right, man. We got this thing all body worked out, ready to go. So the next step on the center console is to go ahead and work in the piece that goes around the shifter up into the armrest. And we'll be able to attach this to the front of the subwoofer box. So the next thing I have to do is start working on the insert and all the parts that go around the shifter. so we can body work that into this panel. Everything starts with a basic form, basic shape. It's just how far do you take it from there? So time to get busy and get some mud on this thing. Chipboard, fiberglass, bodywork, usual thing. All day, every day. If you're fabricating, you're bodyworking, I promise you. If you're not doing it right. Give it some sandy sands, common thread to fabrication, sanding. Lots and lots of sanding.
Usually because we go with bigger engines and transmissions, we cut the original firewall out. Now it's time to replace it with a new handmade firewall. Even though you won't always be able to see it, we're gonna give it that same custom look as the rest of the Willys.
Now we got the cab lifted up off the frame. What I'm gonna do is start removing all this stuff that's not needed anymore. And we're gonna cut this firewall out and build a whole new one that looks really nice. There's no point in having this ugly looking firewall when the rest of the truck is completely custom. And there you go. We got air conditioning. You know, typically the firewall is flat, but right here where the motor is, I'm gonna make it curve in and you curve back out. So not only does it gotta curve in from the sides, but also from the top. Stuff like this, little challenge is fun to do. You can't always have it easy all the time, then you get burnt out. And now we're creating our radiuses horizontally and vertically at the same time. It takes a lot of time, but the finished product looks so much better. We got the hardest piece done. Now that it's tacked in place, we can build our templates for what we're gonna design on the rest of the firewall, which is mainly flat stuff with some bead rolling. Should be way easier than that part. First thing I'm gonna do first, cut this in half. I'm gonna bead roll some patterns that matches the rest of the patterns that are on the truck already. So this panel will match perfectly to the truck and not look out of place. Now we got our first panel. We got our patterns recessed in like the rest of everything. And I raised the perimeter around the hood hinge so that this panel would fit flat against the firewall. All I gotta do is trim off all the excess that's not needed and get it tacked on the firewall. All right, we got all the panels made, cut to fit. All we gotta do is weld it in, and we got us a full firewall.
A project like this Jeep Willys, that's one of the most labor-intensive jobs that you can actually do to a vehicle. Every part along the way is just hours put in. From cutting apart the body and totally remaking it, the frame, the suspension, of course that handmade bed. Most of the time when you have a project, you're working with parameters there. You're just changing, tail lights or maybe changing the wheel well opening a little bit just to add those custom touches. Well, in this case of the Willys, there's no reference points to go off of. Creating the whole bed, it's work, but really more of the challenge is making it look like it came that way. That's a whole different ballgame. Stepping back and getting the proportions right, the right body shape, the flow of the body, all that is super, super critical. To see how to bend those lines and how long to make the lines and where to put the wheel well opening and how to shape the wheel well, the key is making it look like that it came that way. All the blood, sweat, and tears that's went in this Willys it's finally coming to an end. So we're right there at the finish line, and I can't wait to see it finished. When you're working on these big builds, you always learn to celebrate these big milestones.
Wanna do it?
With all the months and months of metal work finally done, we can finally send this frame off to powder coat. It's a very big day.
You know, when you finally send off the frame, that's one of them days that you really look forward to because you know all the fabrication's been done. And once you get it back, clean out the powder coat of holes, and you get to start reassembling this thing, and it really starts to come together.
You know, the Willys metalwork is all done. The body shop did their thing, now it's time for paint.
Green for the money, gold for the honey. All right, so we're gonna paint this Jeep Willys Jeep Green, which that's actually the name of the color. It's called Jeep Green. So basically, it's a military green with some glamour in it. It's gonna be a nice color. It's gonna be something exotic, something nice. All right, so we got all our colors, so now we're ready to take it to the shaker and get it all mixed up. All right, so we got our green Jeep metallic for a green Jeep. It's going on a green Jeep. Looks like an avocado now. All right, this is a nice Jeep green. It's gonna look good. I like it.
As a contrast to the green paint on the Willys, we went with a tan leather for that interior. You know, with that color combo, it'll really make these handmade seats really stand out.
Decided to go with a pair of buckets in it, so I've taken some foam, gotten it all shaped out, so now it's just a matter of sitting here, getting an idea in my head, getting it laid out on here so we have something to work off of to make our patterns. Let's see, so we're gonna run center on this. Once I got that, it's just time to start coming up with ideas. Probably one of the hardest parts of all of this is the simple fact that no two can be the same. Everybody comes here because they want something different. They want something of their own. You know, it takes a little bit of effort, a little bit more work to get it worked out, to make it happen, but definitely what we shoot for. Something like that. Foam gives our pattern some workability, make it lay nicer, look better. And now we play Tetris. Let's go sit down and do some sewing. Oh yeah. We got two halves of our insert. We're gonna put these together. We're gonna make a strip to go up the center. Get that sewn down, it'll cover up the seam. This is a contrasting top stitch, so it's like drawing on it with a marker. You get it crooked, you're gonna see it. All right, we got the first insert done. That's ready to go. Next step, rinse, wash, repeat, and go on to the next one.
We got all of our parts and pieces back from the powder coat. There's 1960 Jeep Willys. You know, it's bare frame, so we're putting on every part and piece. We got the axles painted, all the four-link bars, powder coat tapped out of them. We got our Hellcat red eye engine transmission painted. Everything's going back together. It's looking really, really good. I love the gray hammer tone next to the green metallic. Man, it just looks very classy, but it still has that military kind of feel. So I think the colors are gonna go with this perfectly. You know, this is one of my favorite parts of any build. When all the parts and pieces all start to come together, it just reminds you, you know, when you're a little kid building that model and creating that little masterpiece. Well, this is full-size version right here. Can't wait to see how this wide body is going to look on this chassis.
Right now, I'm just doing a layup for the kick panels on the Willys Jeep. Trying to get this thing set up so we can get the machine running. No matter how many sets of kick panels I've made or how many panels I've made, whenever we're building these cars, every one of them's different. Every bit has its own way of making a mess out of me, so dirtiest tool in the shop besides me. We may start with a template from another one, but from there, we just elaborate on what we've already got. Then we have something that's totally unique, completely different. No one else has it, only that one truck. So everything has to be different.
Hey, man.
Hey, what's up?
These are great. Those are the kick panels?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I could use a little bit of help. Nothing, it's easy work.
This is a trick.
I've got all the drawings for the Willys Jeep.
Okay.
I just need you to take the drawings out of the software and put them into the laser software so we can feed Lay's Fonda and she can cut out some trim rings for me.
We're going to feed the new beast.
Yes.
Feed the beast.
Chomp, chomp, chomp. The advantage of a laser cutter over a CNC is speed and precision. The laser cutter is very fast and very precise. It doesn't need to go over the cut multiple times. One cut and it's perfect. Unfortunately, the machines won't sand for us, so we still have to sand. They'll never be able to do away with us.
The Willys is one of the biggest builds we've ever done here at Extensive. This build took a little longer than expected, maybe a little over budget, but it's something myself and all the guys are really proud of, so I can't wait for you to see what we got for you.
So growing up, my dad always had different kind of cars. Kind of a running joke in my family that every time my dad went on vacation, he got a new car. After high school, I got real heavy into cars. I met an owner that owned her own truck accessory shop. And from that day forward, you know, I fell in love with helping people build what they wanted to build. So the way I got here is, it was kind of a funny thing. They had put a post out looking for a parts person, sent in a resume. Took 3 months before I heard anything back. At first it was a text message. Hey, this is Bill Carlton with Extensive. And at first I thought it was just one of those free hotel stays in Hawaii. But later that night I get a call from Bill and I came out for the week and I just fell in love with the place. Being a kid, picking up old magazines of trucking magazines and stuff like that, I would always see the Extensive logo and I just knew there was no way that I can pass this opportunity up. It didn't take me but 3 days to talk with my wife, make the decision to make the move.
Today's the day to really see how we did. Man, there is not another Jeep Willys like this anywhere on this earth. And I can't wait to really see how John and Scott are liking it.
Bill.
What's happening, fellas?
How's it going?
Hey,
Good to
Bill.
see you.
How you doing, man?
Good to see you, Bill.
Good to see you guys, man. How you doing?
Doing great.
Man, you're about to be doing a whole lot better.
Bill, we've had a truck for a while. This guy's been on me forever to get this truck done, and I can't believe it's done. I keep pinching myself.
I know he's been on you, but we've been getting the emails.
Yeah.
But today is the day. I can't wait for you to see this. You guys ready to check it out?
Ready to check it out.
All right, John, come on.
Oh, you hear it? You hear it?
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, look at that. Wow.
Look at that.
Outstanding. Woo. Good job, baby.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Look at the size of
perfect.
the
Just
brakes.
what I was looking for.
Wow, that thing is awesome. Look how big the wheels are. Look at the size of the brakes on there.
Thank you very much.
That looks good.
Is that wide enough for you?
That is wide enough.
Is
Perfect.
that a bulldog look
That's
enough
a
for you?
bulldog. Look what I was looking for. Yeah. That's well worth the wait just to see what it looked like. I was so excited to see the difference of what it was when we had dropped it off.
Got a kid in a candy store here.
That's true.
Man, I'm glad you like it. I mean, we're all super proud of this.
Oh, yeah.
We spent a lot of time with this truck, right?
A lot of time, yeah.
The first thing we had to do is chop the cab up. You know, had Bob Grant come in, and we made it 8 inches wider, 6 inches longer, just to give you a lot more room.
When my dad was talking about cutting the cab in 2 sections, that kind of blew my mind. They did an awesome job.
We added 4 inches down each side of the hood and down on each side of the grill.
Looks factory built.
Yeah, that's the point. That's what you want, is knowing something's been done, it looks really cool, but I can't quite put my eye on it.
You nailed it right
Just,
here.
yeah, perfect.
You know, and one of the next things we did is we built a whole new chassis from front to back, and you know, we put F250 axles front and rear with a big 4-link. We built in custom air suspension with that chassis too. So if you don't like that stance, you can ride a little higher or a little lower, and it's a transfer case in there, so you still have the front wheels pulling also with the flip of a switch.
Exactly what I was looking for.
It's perfect. The stance is perfect. It sounds mean. It looks mean.
Yeah, man.
First thing we're going to do with this truck is just show it off.
Take home some trophies.
Yeah. Love the wheels on it. Just what I was looking for.
Big 24s on it just look like the perfect proportion.
Yeah.
It does.
I mean, coming down at you, you just automatically notice that color, right?
I love the color. It just sparkles.
Yeah, the paint is so nice. You can actually reach in and touch the flake. Man, it's awesome.
You want to see under the hood?
I want to see under the hood.
Oh,
yeah.
Are you serious? Look
Oh,
at that
beautiful.
thing.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Beautiful. Oh.
You know, got the Hemi under the hood with the Hellcat red eye, supercharged. There's about 700 horsepower under the hood.
Hear those wheels? You're going to be spinning. That's great.
And we had to custom make the firewall to fit not only around the engine, around the big transmission also.
It looks just like they came off the assembly line. Just perfect.
Yeah, it's a 1960.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've done a lot under here, but this isn't the only thing. Old John Burgess did a lot inside the cab.
More?
Let's check it out.
Okay. Wow, look at that. Wow.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Look at that thing.
We had to start from the very beginning. Threw it all away because, for one, nothing was going to fit, and for two, nothing would match what they've done to the truck. From A-pillars and B-pillars to seats, we were able to hide the subwoofer in the center console. We got your speakers in the kick panels. Everything plays nice and loud. It's in your face, nice and clean. Custom door panels. Nothing in this is from 1960.
Took a blank canvas and made it a masterpiece.
Yes.
We got one more thing to show you in the back.
One more?
Yeah. Okay, one more.
All right.
Sounds good.
What do you think?
Okay.
It's
Nice.
nice. Wow.
Oh.
We didn't bring it to you like this.
No.
Oh,
So.
and you nailed it. I love the custom corner there. That's where it goes
Yeah.
on that box. I love that.
This has all been constructed by hand.
Wow.
It was just a pile of sheet metal when they started.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
You said build you a cool truck. How we do?
110%.
Love it.
You guys did a great job. I want to thank everybody over Extensive that worked on the Jeep. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You did a great job.
Yeah, it takes a team effort to do something like this, and it's awesome to see everything get together. And
The team hit a home run.
Yeah, they did.
You know, we love what we do. We love building stuff like this, and I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to build this for you. I am very, very thankful, each and every guy at the shop, for making this happen. The skills that they have, putting in the work all day, every day, and making vehicles like this one of a kind. Well, fellas, we're going to get back to it.
Okay.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
You guys have fun with it. It's yours now.
Yeah.